Hi there, I am Ismail from Pearl Lemon, and today we are going to be talking about how Google can tell you've actually done the thing that you are writing about. Everybody talks about AI content detection now, but I think that conversation completely misses the point. Google is not just trying to detect whether AI wrote something. Google is trying to figure out whether the content sounds like it came from someone who has actually done the thing they are talking about. And honestly, humans can tell too. You can read an article about running Facebook ads, SEO, boxing, cooking, or football tactics, and within 30 seconds, you can tell often whether the writer actually has experience. Today, I want to break down the signals that make content feel real. I think a lot of SEOs are obsessing over the wrong thing. People are asking, can Google detect ChatGPT? But the better question is, can Google detect whether this content lacks real-world experience? Because low-quality content existed long before AI. There were already thousands of articles written by people who had never actually done what they are teaching. AI just made that problem faster. One of the biggest signals of real experience is specificity. People with actual experience mention strange little details that generic writers would never think about. For example, an SEO who runs campaigns might talk about clients panicking after traffic drops, how one keyword unexpectedly brought low quality leads, how changing wording affected conversion quality and not just clicks. That kind of detail is difficult to fake consistently. Another thing is terminology. And I don't mean using complicated words to sound smart. I mean that experienced people naturally describe problems differently because they've lived through them. A beginner SEO talks about rankings. An expert SEO talks about conversion quality, client expectations, attribution confusion, internal politics, sales team complaints. The vocabulary becomes more operational and more human. The next thing to think about is storytelling. I think storytelling is massively underrated in SEO. When someone tells a real story, people stay longer, people remember it, people trust it more, and people reference it later. Imagine reading SEO takes time. Now compare that to a client wanted to quit after 3 months because rankings were flat. Then month 6 became their best lead month ever. Which one feels real? And which one sticks more in your head? The next thing we're going to look at is original instincts are rare. Most SEO content online is basically rewritten summaries of other SEO content. But people who actually do the work start noticing things that aren't in the standard playbook. For example, sometimes more traffic means worse leads. Sometimes a lower ranking page converts better. And other times, users completely ignore optimized CTAs. Experience creates opinions, and original opinions are hard to mass produce. The next thing to look for is real experience contains emotion. One thing AI generated content often lacks is emotional realism. Real work is messy. Clients get impatient, campaigns fail, rankings fluctuate, teams disagree. Experienced people naturally include emotional context because they remember how situations felt. And honestly, that emotional realism makes content believable. Now, why does this matter for SEO? At the end of the day, Google follows users, and users are surprisingly good at sensing authenticity. If your content creates trust, engagement, and repeat behavior, those signals eventually compound. That's why some technically imperfect content still dominates search results because it feels real. Now, what is the future of SEO content? The internet already has enough information. AI made information cheap. So now the value is shifting towards interpretation, lived experience, unique perspective, and actual proof of work. The creators who win are probably not the ones producing the most content. They are the ones producing the most believable content. I honestly think this is where SEO is heading. The best SEO strategy might no longer be write more. It might be actually do more things worth talking about because experience leaves fingerprints, and most humans and search engines are getting better at noticing them. If you found this content to be useful, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.